licensed cosmetologist for 36 years. I got my license in 1986. Some of you probably weren't even born, probably most of you weren't even born. I've been on the state board, one of the 11 people that sits on the state board that you guys learn about. I did that for 2 years because I wanted to change some things and get that experience. So that was a really big deal to be, nominated and do that. I still own a salon. I've owned 10 salons. I still do own a salon in Manasquan. It specializes in organic hair color. I am a teacher. I'm a best-selling author, and right now I have a business consulting practice where I help new entrepreneurs launch salons and small businesses. So in a nutshell, that's what I do. I'm very real, and I love to share my knowledge and tell people you could do anything you want. Don't let anybody tell you you can't, because you can. When I opened my business at 19, they told me it was going to fail. I couldn't do it. I didn't have enough money. I didn't know what I was doing. And I did it anyway. And it turned out, and I made 6 figures in that first year, when it was very hard to make 6 figures. So making 6 figures in the 90s was probably like saying I made, I don't know, like 500,000 in a year. Now, it was a different element. So what I'm going to teach you guys today, so who in here wants to be a 6-figure earner? Like, you want to make 6 figures with your craft? Everybody? All right, I'm going to teach you guys a formula. I want you to write it down. What I'm going to go through is my signature formula to making 6 figures. Now, you have to be honest with yourself and realistic with yourself. The first thing in making 6 figures is you have to be committed that you're going to show up and do what you're saying you're going to do, right? So that means either showing up for someone you work for or showing your own entrepreneur. There's pros and cons to both things. You have to really decide what is the right thing for you. So when I say you're going to be a $100,000 earner, so a 6-figure earner could be, and it's math. So if you guys hate math, you better learn to like math, because math is money. And when I was young, I'm like, oh, I don't like math because it was like algebra or nonsense. But then I realized math is money. I need to know my math and my numbers so I can be successful and keep track of what the heck I'm doing, right? So if you say to me, I want to be a 6-figure earner, that means it can start at 100K all the way through 999,999. That's almost $1 million. But we're going to shoot for 100K, right, coming out of school. Do you think with $100,000 you can have a nice lifestyle?
100.
Would it fulfill what you want? Or at least as a starting point, because it's not easy to make 100,000, but I'm going to teach you how to do it. So first of all, besides knowing your math, you have to have the skill set and the dedication, right? Even when you're starting out, people will buy and stay with you as a client if you make them feel loved. I'm not being like weird loved. Loved meaning you really take great care of them. You give them an experience that no one else has. Meaning, do a little more. I always say this too, and write this down. Would you be a customer in your own business? Now, even if you work for you're working for someone, think, would I sit here and let myself do my nails? That better be a yes. Because if it's not, you better work on what is missing, right? So we always have to hold a higher standard. The longevity of being successful in business, longevity means people staying with you a long time, making money that you can raise your kids with, making money that you can pay a mortgage with, buy the car you want, retire, save. All this stuff is about sustainability and meaning it's consistent. So it's not so much about getting new customers all the time, but keeping them. Because guess what? They can go get their nails done every half a block nowadays, right? Or their skin, or their waxing, whatever it is you're specializing in. So you really have to think about showing up, what's going to set you apart. So I'm going to teach you guys first the formula, which is all numbers, and then I'll talk about the marketing end of it, okay? So I don't overwhelm you. You guys all with me? If I go too fast, you can slow me down. I wrote it down because that way I don't have to make you do all the math. So 100K in 12 months, right? That's a year. We need to make $8,333.33 a month. Okay? this is what you gotta make a month to make 100K a year. Does that sound scary?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't make anything close to that now.
Especially with.
Okay, but I'm gonna go back and forth here. You have to have a goal. That's why I want you to write this down. Create a goal, and when you're making your goal, you also have to shift your mindset. What, you know what mindset is? What we think about, we bring about. So that also means lack mentality, like, oh, I'm never gonna make, how can I ever make six figures just doing that? How could I ever make six figures as a hairdresser? You know, or, you know, things maybe your family, friends, parents, relatives, you're never gonna make that kind of money, you just went to beauty school. Erase that crap out of your brains. Because if you believe it, it's gonna be your reality. If you don't believe it, you believe, I'm on a mission to make myself six figures in my career, because this is a high-end, profitable career you're going into. But you gotta believe it and act the part, right? All right, so now, this is where it starts to get really fun. So now, a week, you gotta make $2,083.33 a week to make 100K. All right, how many days a week, let's get an average, are you guys all gonna work? 5, 4, 3, no one has a clue? Give me something.
5, 6, 4. 4 days a week.
All right, I'm gonna show you the numbers for 5, 4, and 3. How's that? If you work 5 days a week, and I'm sorry if my handwriting's that big, you can get it right. If you work 5 days a week, you gotta make $416.65 a day. All right, that's if you work a 5-day work week. You gotta book in $416.65 a day. And then I'm gonna go back and explain once I write all the numbers. If you wanna work 4 days, all right, it's gonna be 520.81 a day. Now you should write these all down, because this is a formula that people pay me a lot of money for when they hire me in my business consulting practice. And it's the foundation that you could use your whole career. Because you could change this 100 to 200, 300, whatever it is you want, you can use this formula. You're basically dividing, and I'll show you how I did it to get these numbers, okay? And you could do it over and over in your career, as much as you want. 4 days a week, we did that, that's how much you're making there, and then 3 days. All right? If you want to only work 3 days a week, which a lot of people in our industry do, and that's fine. If that's the kind of lifestyle you want, you just got to work a little harder. Okay. And if you work 3 days, you got to make $694.40 a day. Now, do you guys, when you look at these numbers, do they look ridiculously high to you, or do they look more manageable as you realize how much it is a day? Right? Think about it.
That still looks kind of ridiculous a day, for $400 a day, but I'm new, so I can't.
Okay, so let's think about it. Who works in a salon? Does anybody here work in a salon yet?
I just left working in a salon. Tidbit, this actually kind of makes me mad because I was working for someone
Mm-hmm.
and the amount of work that I did for
Mhm.
someone else at the prices they charged, I made for this other person
Mm-hmm.
close enough to 4 days a week, 528 a day mark.
So were
For
you?
someone else.
Yeah, but you have to understand something though. If someone's a salon owner or an entrepreneur that owns a salon and they have team, they cannot give you the full pay. See, when we
Yeah.
work for somebody, you have to realize it's up to you. If they're giving you